Hello and welcome to the cellblock Scorch. This is week 26. This is Rocket Man. Once again, I'm reading for Lost. The prompt this week was given by Cricket. The prompt is, most of them were very old grasshoppers. I'm sure if Cricket has more she'd like to share about that, she will hop in here and give you some background. This piece is titled Marve and the Grasshoppers. Marve hadn't really wanted to move into the retirement community at Riverside Ranch. He was afraid that everyone there would be stuck in a lackluster cycle. But with his kids all living so far away, and his wife having already passed, he was getting lonely. His kids were good and visited him often, but that didn't make up for the day-to-day grind. He was also getting harder for him to keep his house upkeep. When his kids first brought up moving to Riverside Ranch, Marv had been sure that he wouldn't do it, but they all brought up great things about moving to Riverside Ranch, so that convinced him to move. They still hadn't decided what they were going to do with the house because it was their childhood home, but Marv really hoped that one of his kids would come back and live in it. Today was the fateful day. Marv was moving to Riverside Ranch. He was super grateful to his kids because they all came to help him get settled in. They'd gone out to dinner the night before, and it had been wonderful to eat and laugh with everyone. Marv was ready to meet new people and make friends. Moving in was much simpler than Marv had thought it would be. He was settled in 2 hours, and he was ready to start meeting people. Hopefully someone would be receptive. There was bingo tonight, and it started in half an hour. So Marv decided to go down early and meet people as they showed up. The first few people he talked to were nice, but they weren't all that receptive to his conversation. Then a man walked in with a jaunt in his step, and the largest smile Marv had ever seen on his face. When Marv introduced himself, the man told him his name was Colin, and he invited Marv to sit with him and his friends. Marv accepted the invitation, and Colin led Marv to an empty table in the middle of the room. Colin was friendly and told Marv a bit about each of his friends before they arrived. As each person arrived, Colin made sure to introduce them to Marv and repeat what they were interested in. Lewis arrived first, and he liked to bike. He was still participating in races. Then Marie showed up. She liked to read and always had a book on her. Next, Amber arrived. Amber was a huge basketball fan. She liked other sports too, but basketball was her favorite. Last to show up was Patricia, who was Colin's wife. She didn't come down with Colin because she was getting to a good place to pause in the picture she was painting. Everyone was welcoming and asked Marv about himself. He told them that his favorite thing to do was observe animals. He loved to birdwatch, but his favorite thing to do was watch insects. He had a collection of ones he had pinned, but he really liked to watch them while they were alive. He had always been partial to grasshoppers. He loved how they were only able to jump forward, and he also liked their song. His new acquaintances were interested, and they told him that they would love to go observing with him sometime. Marv had a great time with them. Over the next few weeks, he spent more time with this great group of people. Sometimes they were at planned events, but other times they just got together to talk and work on whatever else they wanted to. Sometimes Marie's husband Barth came too. He was a nice man, but he didn't like being in big crowds of people. The day they went to observe was the best. If Marv had any doubts about his new friends, they were gone after this. Barth came along, and everyone was so eager to learn. Patricia had been birdwatching before with her parents when she was little, so she helped with teaching some of the basics. Everyone listened to everything that Marv had to say, and they all really enjoyed themselves. By the end, they were identifying common birds and insects almost perfectly. Marv loved his new friends, and he realized after a couple of months that his fears about everybody being stuck in a routine were for nothing. His friends were like old grasshoppers, always moving forward, and they had such a sweet song. Marv was lucky to have met such a great group of people.
All right, Cricket here for judge comments on week 26. Oh, I just reread both of these, and Pacey's is creative. It's a fun piece. But Lost's is just, for me, perfect. It's utterly exactly what I would have hoped from this prompt without knowing this is what I was hoping for. I found it so charming. I love the mood. I love the tone of it. I love Marv and all his friends. And, like, the way he thinks about them compared to grasshoppers, which, like, he loves so much. It just makes me so happy. I just think this piece is so cute.
Hope you enjoyed that piece. As the winner of the Scorch this week, Lost gave the prompt for the following week, and her prompt was mystery and intrigue. Until next time, keep those fires burning.
The Cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. We can be reached at thestellacore@gmail.com through comments on your podcast platform of choice, our Instagram, Stella_core, and at our YouTube, also called StellaCore. Feel free to check out our other productions on our YouTube channel or our cosplays on Instagram. If you would like to support our creative endeavors, you can give a one-time tip to the Ko-Fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches, or check out our Patreon, linked in the show notes. There, you can access the winning Scorches and episode transcripts for free, or sign up for Spark level support for $5 a month to gain access to all of the Scorch submissions.